we are into a new week. And there's some things that over the last week have kind of come up that I felt were worth talking about and dwelling on. One of the things that, as I was talking with one of my clients, the end of the year brings so many things, anxieties, frustrations, really testing you as a business individual if you're trying to hit end of year campaigns. But it's also the difficulty of balancing your life with all the family time through Thanksgiving, through the rest of the remainder of the year and the holidays that come. And one of the things I wanted to talk about was so often we look at our business lives, our individual lives, as though it's this never-ending saga where you have to bring in all the things from who you were into the current. And for many of us, we beat ourselves up for that. What I'm going to suggest is that instead of having this never-ending saga, think of your life like a book series, right? So maybe there's a portion of your life that is in your book 1, 2, or 3, and now you just really need that reset, right? It's been a difficult year. Maybe sales have declined. Maybe a lot of things have not gone your way, and you're just trying to figure out how in the world do I continue without bringing in the things of the past into the current. I myself have gone through something very similar where I'm realizing that I had to actually choose to say, this is the end of that book. And when I did that, I had to move forward, realizing that I'm the author, I'm the main character. What is the next book going to look like? What's the character development going to be like? Am I going to be the antagonist? Am I going to be the hero? Am I going to be the mentor? What are the things that moving forward that character is going to have that are strengths, as opposed to the things that maybe that were weaknesses in the past, but now that person's developed. But ultimately, it's choosing to pick up a brand new book and let your life be shaped in that way. Now, I'm not saying that any of this is easy. I'm not saying that the internal conflict isn't going to start rising up within you, saying, hey, well, why can't I just figure it out how to do it now? Why isn't this just working the way that I want it to now? But the reality of it is that for many of us, we just need to have a symbolic end to something so that we can actually have a new beginning. Another thing that I really think is really important as we keep moving forward, I know a lot of businesses, a lot of individuals, they're going into this business planning concept. And for many of you, when you're going into that business planning, you have to understand that whatever decisions that you make in order to implement those things, rules of marketing, or rules of change, are going to say that it's going to take at least 21 days for it to become a habit. And then beyond that, if you're putting marketing out into the marketplace, it's going to take about 45 to 60 days for that marketing to come to fruition. And so you have to understand that the sooner you can actually start doing planning for the next year, the easier it is for those things to actually start at the front end of the year so that you could take advantage of getting a fast start in Q1. Now, I also think that we also need to realize that those of you who say, well, shoot, I actually didn't even have a plan. I've had my head down. I'm just trying to go through this. There's really only a couple options in life when it comes to business. And that is this. Either you're executing on your own plan, or you happen to be a cog in someone else's plan, because their plan might actually have a stronger, resounding option for you to follow through because you don't know what you're doing. And for a lot of people working for companies, this is where this becomes kind of this conflict. That's why companies put out campaigns. That's why they do these things, because they know that if they can get you to perform to a certain level, then that's going to actually benefit their company and the plans they have to drive their profitability, their growth, and all those other things. You as an individual, whether you are an employee or whether you are a business owner, you have to understand, keep your plan at the forefront of what you do. Because if you keep it at the forefront of what you do, you're actually getting to write your own story. If you don't, guess what? You're going to be subject to whatever comes your way, right? I had a conversation with somebody where they said, you know what? I just like whenever I'm stuck, whenever I'm feeling like I don't know what to do next, I just go somewhere and I wander. Well, where do you wander? Where do you go wander, right? And they were like, oh, I go to a store. And I was like, so think about that. Your plan has stagnated. And so your plan doesn't have a place to go. So you physically take yourself to a big box store or whatever, and you're wandering around. At that point, you're actually in someone else's business plan. And while you're in that business plan, what are the odds that you're going to walk around and not purchase something? At that point, their plan is being executed while you're sitting here trying to figure out what to do next. Those aren't bad things. Many of us do that. But I'm just going to keep encouraging you that you deserve to have your plan be executed. You deserve to be doing things that are going to move your life forward, because if you don't, someone else is probably going to dictate where that life goes to some extent. 2025, take back that control. Decide that your plan is worth executing on. Keep that plan in front of you. As you keep doing that, you're going to start to see that a different feeling comes about you. A different feeling of, like I said in that book, you get to write a new chapter. You're in control of that. You're the author. But always, always, always put yourself in a position where you can execute your plan so that way your goals, your things you want can become more achievable. With that, I hope you all have an amazing rest of the day. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. And until next time, we'll be talking soon. But have an amazing day, everybody.